Alright, so I kind of want to show off right now. What we're looking at is the tooling post. I went ahead and sandblasted it real quick, took me maybe a half hour. And then I had this implement paint on my cabinet from literally years ago. And I went ahead and dolled it up. I didn't do a great job blasting the underside, and I didn't even bother trying to paint it. Who cares? So that's my new forming post. That tube is full of coarse black sand, and it's capped on the bottom. It's capped on the bottom, and then in here where that sleeve is, it's capped in there. Oh, you can't really see it. Yeah, you see the shiny. All tubing, square, rectangle, round. It all has a seam where it's been electro welded. I took a finger file, a pneumatic finger file, and went down there and I ground that whole seam off. I cleaned up these edges inside and out, made it so I can drop dollies down in there. It'll drop, what is that? I think it's 1.5 inch tubing. I can use 1.5 inch tubing for my posts and just thunk right in there. Now as I make dollies, I've got some I made for my other tooling posts that'll stay here at home, or in my home shop. But when I start making dollies, I'll make like one out of this tubing for this, and I'll actually cap both ends, and I'll fill it with sand so it behaves like a dead blow. It behaves like an anvil, because that resonant hollow thud and bounce, you don't move metal nearly as effectively. Now, something in prototype stages, something I'm playing with and having a lot of fun with. I went ahead and made mallets. I shaped the heads by hand. I used a miter saw for some of it, and roll-lock grinding disc and 80 grit on a DA. Handles I formed as well. I just got 1 inch hardwood dowel rod. And I really like the heft of them. I went ahead and tried these two out a little bit now that I got handles and played with them. And the material I used for the head was actually a 3x4 oak cribbing I literally found laying outside the shop. It's used for like pallet material, all sorts of different shit. And this was a design, as I was looking through various mallets, I saw one, it had this end on it, and then it had a round end, much like that one. But I wanted it, now, I've got these two profiles to shape metal with. And I'll get more of the hardwood dowel to make that handle out of. I looked at hammer handles for these, and they wanted, at the local hardware store in the small town I live in, they wanted $7 to $12 per handle. I paid, I think, $3 for 3 feet of that dowel. And I got 2 handles out of it, and I got a stubby piece left I could use for a different size mallet, a small mallet or something. But these are, at this point, because it was fun, and I plan on building a lot more of these. These are the prototype version of what shall be known henceforth as Bastard's Beetles. Looking up mallets online, a lot of them are referred to as beetles. It is another word or term for a mallet. So these are Bastard's Beetles. I actually started looking around for a cheap wood lathe, because I could turn out all the conical ones with a wood lathe very easily, and then get like a disc belt sander, and I could turn out all of this. Some simple carpentry tools that I no longer have would do this job rather quickly. Mind you, I spent an hour between those two heads, and I cut up enough of this cribbing material for 6 heads. I cut up 6 pieces, so I have 3 more, 2 or 3, I have 5 or 6 pieces, I have two or three more over yonder. And then made the heads and got them all sanded out and finished except for the holes. Those two took me an hour to do. It took me another 45 minutes to make the handles how I want them to be. I did learn something with this, and I like oblonging the hole if I can, because I actually cut splits and made wedges and drove them down in just like a regular hammer. So if you oblong the hole, it works better for that purpose. This material you see right here is actually Gorilla Glue. I filled the void around the handle. It won't go anywhere ever. If I break a handle, it's going to suck, but I'll just have to drive it straight through the way it's going. One significant tip I did learn, while this is still a square 3x3 chunk, well 2.5 by 2.5 technically, but 3x3 chunk, figure out the design of the head of the mallet, or in that case a 3x4, but figure out the design of the mallet and figure out where you want the handle to center at, and drill the hole then, and then make the head of the mallet around that hole, because it's kind of a bitch to get it centered and everything correct after you've contoured everything. So that's what I'm working on, or have worked on. I'm done with my own projects for today. I will get to some post dollies for this, and I'll come back in and show you what's going on there. But for now, this is Enthusiast Workshop. This is the second quick short video in a series about making your own tools.